Little pickle. Yes, guys. Little pickle. Big pickle. Little pickle. Big pickle. Little pickle, big pickle, pickle Rick. Little pickle, big pickle, pickle Rick. Little pickle, pickle Rick. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, guys.
Hey guys, hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Time for a little bit of random retro Turdsday to brighten your day a little bit more. Spin that wheel. And what is it going to choose for us today? What could it be? It's going to be a little 91 beauty hockey. Let us go! Well, alrighty then. The wheel has spoken. Let the randomness ensue. Back to the OG 9091 Upper Decker as we celebrate with 6 packs of random retro goodness on this lovely Turdsday. With the weekend fast approaching, who's not going to be in a good mood, right? All right. Pack number 1. And yes, because these packs are 30-something years old, you slice through them like butter. Brian Mullen. Upside down, Ulf Samuelsson, which is the way he belongs. Talk about somebody who didn't play the game the right way. That's Ulf Samuelsson. Someone who did play it the right way. Captain Crunch, Wendell Clark. Yes, of course, before he got the C officially, he spent a number of years without an official captain, but Wendell led by example. He was always willing to play the hero. Claude Vilgrain. Upside down, Brian Bradley, also a former Maple Leaf for a couple of seasons. Jeff Norton. Remember him when he made his way to the Sharks? Played against the Leafs in that Sharks-Leafs series back in 1994. Doug Badger. Look at this, nothing but back and forth between the upside downs. Martin Jelena, OT hero when he was with the Flames in their run to the Cup final that came just short. Maybe Martin Jelena even scored the Cup-winning goal that never got confirmed. Bob Asenza, Reggie Lemelin, the Crusher, Mike Krushelnitsky before he made his way to Toronto, right? Before, yes. Came over in a trade later on. Michael Pavonka, Michal. Ron Sutter. Alright, 1 pack down of the Premier Edition of 9091. It's, as anyone who's bought a recent box knows, that this is the first year of the Young Guns, because they had them in the very first year, but unfortunately for us, these are the low series packs, so there are no Young Guns in these packs. Adam Oates. Unfortunately, it was the only box they had at my LCS, but it's well worth it nonetheless. Kirk McLean. More Mike Krushelnitsky. Look at that. Alan Bester. He was the best they could muster back in the 80s and early 90s before they managed to solve their goalie woes temporarily with Grant Fuhrer, and then permanently, or semi-permanently, with Felix Potvin. Sylvain Turgeon, the other Turgeon. Glenn Wesley also spent a half a season or a portion of a post-trade deadline with the Leafs, including playoffs, which didn't go that well. Dave Andreychuk had a little more success as a Leaf than those other two. Kevin Stevens. Backwards, Brian Mullen again. Hart Trophy for one Mark Messier as he led the Oilers to their one and only Gretzky-less Cup but maybe McDavid is the one to finally break that, or well, become the second to do so. John Casey, Dave Ellett, more former Leaf mojo. On to pack numero 3. These dried out foily packs. Patty Verbeek, the speedster Mike Gartner, more former Maple Leaf mojo there. Tim Chevelday, the other Mayday Alan May, Peter Sadorkovitz, more former Leaf mojo Rick Vive after he sustained that neck injury, having to wear the collar for that little bit of extra protection. Mike Lawler, Miloslav Horava, Miloslav, not Miroslav, Miloslav. A little backwards. Chris Terreri action. Wayner did not win the Hart Trophy, but he still took home another one of his Art Ross. Mike McPhee. A little more Sylvain Turgeon action. And Joel Otto, speaking of overtime magic Calgary Flames, he managed to get that series winner against Vancouver that propelled them to that Stanley Cup championship run. Bob Sweeney, not to be confused with Don Sweeney. Yes, they are brothers. Or you say, no. Yes, Jyrki Lumme. Former Leaf, never well liked. Sergio Momesso, I feel like he was briefly a Leaf. Am I misremembering that? Am I? Kevin Dineen, John Tonelli, Stan Smeel, I'm guessing. No, Petri Skripko, Vancouver Canucks checklist. Sean Burke, a favorite of Freedom Sufferer. Sean Burke had quite the tilt with Mark Laforest. R.I.P. right there. Jason Schultz. Sean Chambers. Kitty Rudy. Oh, some Leaf checklist action of one Gary Lehman, who would be traded roughly a year after these came out to the Calgary Flames for one Dougie Gilmour. And Mario Gosselin, one of the better, cooler looking action shots of the set. I always love seeing the goalies in action as the puck is hitting the danger zone. All right, 2 packs to go. We're just flying on through. Hall of Famer Chris Chelios, a little upside down Beezer, not a mini Beezer, full size Beezer. Glenn Hanlon gave the Leafs fits back then, but hey, lots of goalies did because the Leafs were not that good back in the 80s. Stevie Larmer, but as much as you can badmouth them, they did seem to find a way to win playoff series. Dave Ellett, Mike Foligno, also aware of winning playoff series as a Maple Leaf, managed to be a part of a conference finals team. Billy Ranford, of course, the 1990 Conn Smythe winner. David Shaw, a backwards Kelly Miller, a Vezina for Patrick Roy. Watch out, he likes to hurt feelings too. Jeff Norton, Bobby Smith, and I don't just mean Jeremy Roenick. Last pack mojo. Can we find a big time rookie in this last pack? We can find ourselves one more Bob Essenza, another Hart Trophy winning Mark Messier, of course, a Pierre Turgeon, there's the top Turgeon, Jani Ojanen, I'm guessing, we have, yes, from Tampere, Finland. Sharks Attack, do you remember Jani Ojanen? I'm trying to see here, what does this show? 2 years, the first year, 17 goals, 13 assists in 64 games. That's not too shabby for a second season. Sergio Momesso again. Jeff Smith, part of that all-rookie team as a defenseman. Bradshaw, Looks nothing like he did in his WWE days. Daniel Shank, part of the Shanktron crew. Brian Mullen, 3 times lucky. Daniel Dorr, star rookie. Look at that. There is our last pack mojo. We got ourselves another rookie. Matthew Schneider and a David Shaw. Related to Bradshaw? I'm going to say no. But what else am I going to say? We're going to thank you for watching on this beautiful Turdsday. And we catch you on the next one. Bye!
Little Pickle. Yes, guys. Little Pickle. Big Pickle. Little Pickle. Big Pickle. Little Pickle, Big Pickle, Pickle Rick. Little Pickle, Big Pickle, Pickle Rick. Little Pickle, Pickle Rick. Let's go. Yes, guys. Little Pickle, Big Pickle, Pickle Rick. Little Pickle, Big Pickle, Pickle Rick. Little Pickle. Shiny, shiny.